Alright, wonderful dickheads. Welcome back to Practicing Portraits, an artwod roadmap. What is artwod? The best online platform to learn how to draw from imagination. They give you the work, not the shortcut. I'm not affiliated, I'm just a huge dick rider, right? Because of them, I'm able to draw like this from imagination. I've been drawing for 3 years and 5 months. The fundamentals is 95% of my practice. Imagination drawings is the other 5%. I mean, yeah, 90 to 95. Whatever. The point is, get your fucking pen, get your paper, draw along. I'm extremely excited to put in a shit ton of effort, and I encourage you and implore you, I fucking beg of you, to keep me on the background, give me to also put in as much effort as possible. Yeah, get your pen, get your paper, draw along. Draw along, let us practice. Right. I'm actually really excited to get this form wrapping down because once I can get this down and internalize it consistently across multiple angles, then it's GG, my guy. It's G to the get G. Right. So what are we doing? We're looking at a portrait. This is again the artwod roadmap. Right. So we're doing the exercise, and again, I've done hundreds of times the work that they require, and that's actually what I request you as well. Whatever you're learning, do 100 times the work that is required, right? And it's like, oh no, how do I enjoy it? Well, you focus on the effort, you focus on the errors, and you derive enjoyment from them, right? You only focus on the effort. Once you start having expectations towards the result, you've lost technically, right? So how do we not lose? By continuing to try and focusing only on the trying, right? Because you cannot actually control the outcome. You can't actually control what is going to happen. You can only control the effort you put towards what you're trying to have happen. And then when your result is not what you want it to happen, right? That's the gap where you're like, okay, well, like this is my standard and this is my output, right? My outcome. And then what's the gap? And then you look at it and then you put another fucking 100 reps in, right? Hundreds and thousands of reps and hours and mental calculations and effort and whatever other bullshit I always talk about. But anyways, draw along, draw along. Thank you, I appreciate it. But anyways, we're doing the artwod portrait roadmap. The exercises, look at the portrait reference. I have a portrait reference on the side here. Put a box over that reference, put a sphere inside the box, put center lines inside the sphere inside the box, put diagonal center lines, visualize and calculate all of this, of the visible planes, right? The ellipses on the visible planes, and the center planes of the box in of itself, and then the ellipse inside of that, which is the centered horizontal and vertical center contour of the sphere itself, right? So basically this fuckery, right? So I'm literally in the midst for this angle building this mental wireframe, this mental schema, this mental model, right? Like this is how learning works, and that is extremely difficult because what it is taxing your working memory. And because I'm narrating it, I'm actually practicing metacognition, thinking about thinking or narrating my thinking. I'm not only just practicing, I am an observer to my practice because I want you, my fellow future individual, not now. I've already started thinking, by the way, right? But you in the future, I want you to know exactly what's going on through my mind, right? The process, right? The cognitive effort. Right now, it's already extremely difficult to create a perfect circle, right? Oh, by the way, there's this website called eyes.training, right? Eyes.training has a bunch of shit regarding like ellipses in different perspectives, form intersections, training your eye to basically see all that shit. So for their one in ellipse, I just put it on max in terms of, I think like 0 degrees or fucking 360 degrees, whichever one, that makes it a perfect circle. So I've been looking at that just today for like 20 seconds. So it hasn't been often at all, just started today. But either way, right, I'm thinking about the sphere, perfect circle, right, the sphere, put encompassing box inside of it, right? And now I'm also looking at the portrait reference. Every time I look away from the portrait reference, I have to reconstruct this mental model. I'm thinking about the center planes on each, the center lines, vertical, horizontal, and diagonal on each plane. I'm trying to think about the ellipses, and more than anything, I'm especially need to internalize this, right? This wraparound, because this basically what this wraparound, this form wrapping is a reflection of my understanding, right? This is a stress test of how much do I actually see, how much do I actually understand. Right, so I'm constantly calculating. Like right now, my working memory is slowly starting to get taxed because I'm actively trying to calculate as many things as possible. Right, the 23 calculations, from what I understand. Like if we say like each thing is a calculation, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 8, 12, right? And then ellipse here, right? 13, 14, 15 in each one, right? And then the center plane, 16, 17, and then the box itself, 18, the sphere itself, 19. I think I'm missing a couple. I guess not. I guess it was 19. I thought it was 23. What the fuck? Maybe. Whatever. The point is like dozen plus calculations I'm constantly trying to hold in my mind, right? And again, I'm trying to keep it as accurate to the. And I guess I just looked away at the reference again, so I have to reconstruct, right? And the thing is like visualizing this is all nice, right? Ghosting it is basically the bridge between visualization and application, right? So the bridge between the prefrontal cortex and the motor circuits that are being activated, right? When it comes to applying the line, right? And if you're wondering what the fuck, I didn't know art, like drawing, had this much effort put into it. It does, right? It's just nobody talks about this. Like actually trying to be really, really, really good at form, understanding, draftsmanship, line. And this is just form, line, and perspective, by the way. Especially, like, I don't get anything else, you know? Like, and it will be decades before I understand anything else. But I want to say, like, and I barely understand it clearly because I don't understand scale either, right? This should be much larger in the foreground. This is actually the fucking wrong horizon line that I placed here. Like, there's so much I don't understand. It's beautiful, right? But even when you are trying to understand, like, what you can control, the things you're trying to understand, there's also a lot of variables. So my goal at all fucking times is just absolutely tax the fuck out of my mind, right? Just genuinely, I want to be in as much severe discomfort as possible, as much as I can, just as much as I can as possible, right? Let's see, did I get that angle right? No, it's actually a bit too much. This angle is more accurate. This angle is a bit too subtle, but we've already committed. So now, again, like while I'm placing these lines, I have to keep zooming out, and I encourage you to do so as well, because it's a skill, right? Like to zoom out, you have to zoom in while placing the line, but you have to also zoom out and holistically understand where you're trying to make this all make sense, right? Like, because I still have to think about the over. Oh, Jesus Christ, that was a mistake. And again, when I make a mistake, I feel good, right? So it's not like, oh, Jesus Christ, mistake, but it's just like, oh yeah, okay, mistake, right? Because I still have to holistically think about the overall sphere, right? And then every time I think about the sphere, I also have to think about the center lines and like the diagonals that are occurring, right? So it's very difficult and incredibly rewarding. And again, I just zoomed in there while I was creating this line, zoomed in again while I was fixing that. But it's incredibly rewarding, in my opinion, to think about all these difficult things, right? Again, I'm zooming in right now, right? And again, like very, very difficult. Incredibly rewarding, but very difficult. And now the other thing is like, okay, where is the perfect sphere and all this? So I have to determine the length in order for a perfect sphere, for a box to encompass this perfect sphere. Like, what is the box that is encompassing it? Right? What's in the box? What's in the box? Just, okay, but let me think. Right, and I think it should be right around there. And again, while I'm doing this, I'm really trying to calculate the center line, the center plane, and then the ellipse inside the center plane, because I don't think about that often enough, right? So I am trying to think about it as much as I can now. And I am zooming in right now. So, and I already made this box way too tiny, right? Like, I want it to be this large, but this is a skill, right? Proportion, placement, accuracy, consistency, what the fuck? And line, like anything that's related to that. Right? Like it's all a skill, which is incredibly difficult, right? Incredibly difficult. And I hope I didn't converge that. Okay, I didn't, right? And I only didn't converge it because I actually fixed it here. There's about a millimeter extension between the end of that line that I made and what is actually, okay, so this is actually not a good sphere at all. So I actually should have extended this much further outward, right? Because there's not a perfect sphere inside this box, right? And now I see that, so I actually should have extended this a bit more, right? And this is the thing, like when you course correct, your brain actually learns from this. And by the way, like I'm really trying to see all the calculations, but I've been consistently failing because just seeing the box and the sphere inside of it is already, or the sphere and the box encompassed in it is difficult enough. But even while I'm placing this line, I'm calculating the center plane. I'm calculating this center plane, right? And oh, another thing, like when I'm visualizing the center plane here, it's really hard for me to see the other side. Therefore, it's really hard for me to calculate the ellipse inside of it. So that's something I have to constantly be aware of, right? Because my mind wants to take this curve of the ellipse and make it something retarded like this, where it's like completely jutting out and wrong, even though this is relatively accurate, right? So it wants to basically overextend it and have to be like, no mind, no, my mind. Literally, like you have to constantly keep telling your mind like, no, 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 this is what you want. No, 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 this is what you want. Even then, I don't think this is a perfect circle. So this is all wrong, right? It's fucking amazing. But this feeling of trying and failing and trying and failing, and that is what learning is, right? Because I can tell you it's gonna happen for easily, I don't know why I did that noise, but it's gonna happen for me, for how difficult the skill I'm trying to build. It's gonna happen for hundreds of hours, right? I'll probably move on to Loomis after another 50 repetitions. So once I get to 50 here, I'll do another 50 and then I'll move on to Loomis, because I'm not moving on until I've internalized this relatively decently. Right, so if we look at this and we try to think about what type of sphere is encompassed in this, again, it's a very narrow sphere, right? Like, it's a narrow circle, because that is not a perfect circle. This is more like a perfect circle, right? Like that. You might not be able to see the difference, but you can see it's extended upwards by about 3 millimeters, right? Maybe 2 millimeters. And that is cognitively demanding, right? And again, like every time I try to calculate the center line here, my mind wants to wrap the ellipse and like it's doing this for some reason. It's like really trying to extend it outward, even though this is the ellipse or the plane, right? Like that's the plane that's here. And my mind, when it comes to calculating the ellipse, is doing this. Like it's making it go outward and it's making it go upwards, right? And then I'm like, wait. You have to constantly be like, nope, bring it back. And that's what I'm constantly trying to do. And while I do that, I'm trying to also visualize the fact that it's a sphere inside of it. This is not a perfect sphere. I've already fucked that up, but it is a sphere nonetheless, right? Like that I'm trying to visualize, you know? Okay, anyways, let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. Oh, I love this shit. I just need to... The thing is, like, it's really easy to think that I'm fucking up, this is not good, blah, blah, blah. Like, it is easy, but the thing is that only comes when you have expectations. So I'm constantly also reevaluating my expectation, reevaluating my expectation. Jesus Christ, I cannot speak. To be, you're just trying, bro. You're just trying, innit? You're just doing your best, right? Do the best. Anyways, rest your brain. All right, wonderful. We're back again. Let me place the center lines. Yeah, this is probably the smallest box I've drawn thus far. And immediately, like while I look at this, I'm already calculating as much as I can. This is the thing, right? I strive, like I'm calculating the diagonals, calculating the center line. I strive to be in as much discomfort as possible, but that's actually difficult because sometimes you don't even realize that you could push even further beyond. I'm not even gonna do the I already did, but fucking Super Saiyan tree. Even though this is the wrong theme, right? But, and again, like while I'm drawing this, I'm trying to zoom out as much as possible. The thing is, like, this is extended, and this should also probably be a bit smaller, now that I think about it. Yeah, like, this should be much smaller, right? Because this is not the, like, this is actually what's causing the ellipse to be elongated, or this perfect sphere, supposedly, right, to be elongated. So I need to cut that off as well, right? So this is actually where our center line is, somewhere around here. And again, like I just zoomed in while I did that, right? So I need to zoom out again. This is a bit better. This is a bit better. Nothing perfect, but it is a bit better. But yeah, what the fuck was I saying, bro? Like, yeah, I'm just constantly trying to think about the, there you go. Like, see, now that I'm actually ghosting the ellipse properly, it's helping quite a bit. And again, this ellipse is the center plane ellipse that I'm ghosting because I'm seeing this, right? So let me, yeah, like again, this is the curve, this is the sphere. Yeah, this sphere is way too big. I'm still trying to, because I actually don't have the mental model. I don't have the schema. My working memory capacity is taxed just trying to create the correct box and perspective that encompasses the sphere, right? That encompasses it. So it's already difficult in that sense, right? And again, like I'm constantly trying to calculate. Very difficult. And I get it. Vast majority. The thing is, like, I know these quote-unquote episodes, if you're gonna call it that, just my practice. I know this practice is gonna look boring. It's gonna like, cause I'm not doing that. Hey, why aren't you drawing the pretty thing, man? Like, why aren't you drawing the pretty thing, right? It's like, well, have you ever heard of foundations, fundamentals, right? On having good solid structure underneath your drawings? No, probably because you haven't been practicing properly, right? And the thing is, like, you can get away with pretty drawings for a very long time. You can. Right, so I'm not discounting that you can't draw nice without having decent, you could have mediocre fundamentals and still do good portraits, right? Because a lot of it comes down to proportion, placement, right? Likeness, accuracy, understanding of features relatively, but the better your understanding of 3D form and the space it resides in, the easier it will be to not only draw these portraits, but to be able to rotate these portraits. I'm trying to fucking create worlds in my mind, right? I am not, what's it called? And while I'm talking, I'm thinking, by the way, it's very difficult, but I'm not taking shortcuts. And I'm not trying to draw nice pictures. I'm trying to understand the world, right? I'm trying to internalize 3D, you know? And yes, my understanding will never be absolutely amazing, perfect, whatever, but I'm striving, right? That's what matters. It's like you strive, and this is the striving right now. Is I'm trying so hard, you know, like somebody give me a break. What is it? Have a break, have a Kit Kat? I don't know. It's not even a joke, it's just sad. Okay, anyways, let's see, this girl's fucking nose is gigantic, Jesus Christ. Alright, like, at least the bottom of her nostrils, bro, it's like a fucking, it's literally like the Great Pyramids, but, and then she also looks bald from this angle, it's kind of fucking with me quite a bit. But let's see, let's first do the eyes this time around. Right, let's set the proportion with her eyes. And again, like while I'm doing this, I'm really trying to see the sphere. I'm really trying. Am I succeeding? Probably most fucking definitely not. But I am trying to internalize this 3D model in my mind while I do it, right? Like right now, I just lost the entire sphere and the center lines, but I'm trying to get it back, right? I'm trying to constantly get it back, get it back, get it back, right? Yeah, definitely. This is the size that I want to be doing it at though, because this is incorrect, and I do struggle with understanding this perspective, a decent amount, right? So, okay, though, where the fuck is that nose? Where's that giant schnoz? Let's see. And then see, like I keep looking away from the because I'm looking at the portrait right now, right? Like the actual reference. So I keep holy shit, her nose is huge. Also, I misplaced it. Jesus Christ. Yeah, definitely I definitely misplaced her nose. This is why you don't hire me for portraiture. Not for another 6 to 8 months, right? 6 to 9 months? No, 6 to 9 months. Penguins of Madagascar. I don't know. I always found that absolutely hilarious, right? It'll take 6 to 9 days. 69 days? No, 6 to 9 days. And then the fucking monkeys wanting wanting a what? The fucking like wage, right? Pension or whatever. That's hilarious. Or no, they wanted to be unionized, right? And again, like I know I'm completely distracted, but I'm also constantly trying to calculate. Again, right now I'm really trying to see that center line here, the center wraparound of the sphere, right? And this is very tiny too. And you have to understand, everything I'm drawing underneath this is a fucking obstruction, right? Like it is, and I'm trying so hard. I'm genuinely trying so hard, but sorry, not but, and it's extremely difficult, and I'm failing quite often. Right, like this sort of and the thing is, like, for the past 2 days, I feel as if I've just not improved. I'll tell you that, right? Like, and should be pretty obvious because there is no improvement, no discernible improvement. But that's the whole point. Is like for a very long time, you'll just feel like you're not improving while your brain is constantly trying to learn the thing that you're trying to do, right? And it's gonna be like that, and that's just a constant. And that's just when you try difficult things, it's gonna take a lot of energy, right? Like my brain is using a fuck ton of glycogen, right? My glycogen store. That's what your brain uses to tax your working memory, right? And this is already tiny, by the way. This is like a tiny ass box compared to this, but it's still struggling quite a bit to see everything, right? It's still struggling quite a fucking bit to see everything that it needs, you know? And again, like I'm just ghosting the ellipses in the plane, right? And again, I don't think this is good perspective. Like I'm very certain that I fucked up the perspective quite a bit, especially of the box. So you have to understand that I'm aware of that, right? And you have to understand that you have to be aware of the things that you keep messing up as well and trying your best to reduce or rectify it, right? And it will take a lot of time, at least if you're normal like me. Clearly I'm fucking average to below average, because look how long it's taken me, right? Or maybe this is exactly what learning looks like. Maybe it's that too, you know, where it does take a fuck ton of trial and error, but genuinely in general, what the fuck? That doesn't roll off the tongue that well, but yeah, genuinely, right? Because I like to whine. This is what learning looks like, right? Like this is what intense cognitive effort looks like, and it's, at least to me, at least for me, right? Some of you may be able to do this 100 times better, right? And understand things. Jesus Christ, what the fuck was that ear? Like 100 times better, right? But yeah, that is not a good ear. But we'll just leave it for now. Oh, I forgot to draw the ear for this one as well, right? But yeah, like I'm struggling a lot. I'm struggling a lot to see anything, right? But anyways, let's start with the form wrapping. Let me at least get some good lines down. Make this a lot larger, right? Like it needs to be around this big, right? And again, I looked at the portrait again, but I need to see the entire fucking sphere, the box, the center planes, and then the wraparound. Like that's the main thing. Is like I need to see that so much, you know. And by need, I mean like I'm not gonna give myself so much pressure, but genuinely, it is something I'm gonna be actively, like I do need to see it. Like a sense of urgency is very good in that sense. Is like to be able to see, to want to see, to really push yourself, right? That actually helps with learning as well when you have a sense of urgency. So I do need to see it, right? And it is going to be incredibly difficult. Let's see, and again, I'm zoomed in. I completely lost the sphere. So that's another learning lesson for me, is like I just lost it. So I need to be aware of the fact that I lost it and then try to get it back again. Right now I'm trying to imagine the center line here, of the contour and center line here, and then obviously the perfect ellipse that it surrounds, right? And then now we have the box, right? We have, okay, this is clearly following this diagonal. This is actually where the entire box is, what's it called? This is literally the center, right? So I have to, this is actually an anchor point for me to see the box, to see the diagonal that's being inferenced, right? And then the sphere around it. So there you go, something like that, right? And again, I'm ghosting right now, but do I really see it? No, but I'm gonna try my fucking hardest. Again, I'm trying to brute force the visualization right now, right? I'm really trying to brute force it to the best of my ability. And while I make these marks that you're about to see, I'm still trying to understand what it is that I'm doing in terms of the perspective, right? Because it's incredibly difficult. And see, like, I just lost everything, so I need to take a step back and be like, okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Like, where's the wireframe that I'm creating, right? There you go. Okay, but now that is also not that good. There you go. Okay, a little bit better, right? Still trying to see the perspective. Okay, take a step back. And now we try to reconstruct again, right? Just constantly like, oh, see, like trying to see the box and the sphere in this shit is like so fucking hard, but it's so worth it, bro. I do think I did not give enough space up here. Like this could have been much lower, but again, because I struggle with placement, consistent placement, proportion, right? Retaining proportion and consistent placement, right? In with my visualization, like all extremely difficult skills, right? So right now I'm trying to think about the box, the center lines. I'm trying to put the sphere accurately, and while I'm putting the sphere accurately, it's being dictated by the fact that I'm constantly trying to see the correct perspective, right? That I've created here, which is relatively correct. It's like this, it's this, yeah, but like the correct perspective, right? More than anything. And then the center lines, because now, again, on the edge of this bottom plane is where I personally am rationalizing where the curve of the sphere, right? And then how it follows. I know for a fact that the sphere is, there's a lot more space here versus here, right? Because this is the center. So I know that this is the front plane, it juts outward. So obviously the sphere is coming around here. And again, like metacognition, I'm trying to explain what I'm thinking. Therefore, it's going to help me actually do the task, like the actual drawing itself, right? So let's see, and then now we have to think about the side plane, right? The side plane, what is happening here? There's the box, right? This is the center line. This thing immediately stopped being the center line for me and became really close to the side plane. Like I started, if this is what this is, right? If this line indicates like with this thing's placement, it's supposed to be in the center, but my mind immediately was like, nope, it's actually right here, right? So even though I was trying to visualize the center and I was like, oh yeah, it's right in the center, it's right around here. Immediately when I tried visualizing it again, it went to the edge of the plane, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Like it constantly shifts. It's very normal for your perspective, everything to constantly flicker, shift, be inconsistent, go in the wrong directions, fucking diverge, converge. Everything that can go wrong and does go wrong is part of the process, because the process is you constantly putting an effort to reconvene, right? To reintegrate it, to put it back to the actual correct thing you're trying to see, right? Like that is the effort. Like that is extremely difficult, right? Here's your validation, you little shit. But it's hard. Everything is hard. God damn it, just cry. But anyways, see, like I'm really taking my time because I want to get down my understanding of the side plane in relation, right? And like that all comes down to seeing the entire box. Like again, I'm trying to zoom out a shit ton and see the wireframe. And now that I'm zooming out, I'm trying to calculate the ellipse here. And then again, like it's very difficult to start and then stop an ellipse, right? Like and then have a gap in the middle. It's extremely difficult to do that, especially on this scale where it has to be something like this, and then you're like, oh, okay, I think it's something like that, right? But then like how does this come around? And then like, okay, is it connected there? Like, it's very difficult. I want to be very clear. Like, it is incredibly difficult to do that, right? To do that as well. So, again, I'm trying to take a step back, trying to calculate the center line. Okay, so I think I kind of have an idea of what I'm doing. Kind of. I will never say I do have a full idea, but said it 6 times so far. But there you go. And again, like I should be trying to visualize the center plane as well, but I literally cannot see it right now. Like I don't have the fucking mental capacity. My working memory is already taxed trying to understand this as it is, right? So let's see. And then we'll bring this, and this is like about accuracy as well, right? There you go. Okay, so I need to take a step back. I need to zoom out. I need to zoom out. I need to zoom out, see the side, and then we need to... There you go. That's my sphere. And this actually, I think I made this a bit too wide. This curve already indicates to me that I made the sphere a bit too wide, but it's okay because this is where learning occurs, right? This mistake right here is an indicator to me that I did make a mistake. This is like, it's an indicator to me that I don't really see the perspective that I want to see, right? And you can see that this already is misaligned. Like this should have been further to the left here, right? Where I started this line, but that's okay, right? And again, let's see. Okay, so I need to see the center plane now because this is my box. I need to see the center plane. And again, that's to wrap around. We have to see the 3 dimensions, right? We have to see the 3 dimensions. We have to wrap around. Because something like this. And again, like now I'm thinking about the center plane. I'm thinking about the center plane. I'm thinking about the center plane. I'm trying to project it outwards. This center plane right here, right? This one right there. And again, I actually ended up making this quite a small sphere. So clearly this is the extent of what I can do. Or like the range of what I can do, right? And also like I was trying to avoid bleeding into the top one over there. So it makes sense. But overall, let's see what can be done, right? Because I did make this incorrect. I definitely made this incorrect. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm gonna rest my brain because I've been really trying, so I need to rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. See, so you lean into discomfort and then you take a step back, but you try to lean into that discomfort for as long as possible. But the second I've experienced output regression is when your working memory capacity is at its fullest, right? And your brain is unable to hold that information, and your output gets worse. Your outcome, like what you're doing, gets worse. Your ability, but your input, like you're still trying hard, really see everything, do everything, but you're not. But the result isn't there. That's output regression, which is a good thing. That's where you want to be as often as possible because you're making all these mistakes. It feels amazing. But yeah, rest your brain. What the fuck? Rest your brain, please. What is? Alright, cool. This is actually good because I get to get more reps in. It's only been 27 minutes and already like I'm gonna be able to get a lot more reps in. So this is good. I mean, this is actually what I need in terms of like the form wrapping exercise. So clearly, again, like you can see this is gonna be fucked because like I need to take a step back, by the way, and see the entire box again. But let's see. This is exactly the center line. So let's see. Something like that, and then we can just, and by the way, like when I'm doing this is also incorrect because I made it too straight, it didn't curve properly. But these curves that I'm doing, like that is basically following the plane, the center plane that I'm visualizing, right? Like it's all following the perspective to the best of my ability, right? It's all like I'm trying to, like again, I'm not gonna say I'm succeeding, but again, like that's why I need to keep zooming out, keep seeing the box, keep keep trying to see the thing that needs to be seen. And again, I have this problem, I did it here as well, where I make this too wide, right? And that results in bad proportions, right? Same thing here. Let's not make it too wide, this one. See, but then again, it's not, the line itself is too straight. So I struggle with that degree. I struggle with, and I love this. I actually love this exercise, right? Because this is actually going to allow me to really see the nuance, because I have to constantly see the perspective correctly while also being able to make sure that I see all the center lines and everything that is going, and also all the calculations. And while I'm drawing this, I'm trying to zoom out as much as I can, but I'm struggling, and I basically failed miserably to zoom out. I want to be very clear, like I didn't really zoom out at all. And you can see this is already an incorrect sphere, but the point is like we're trying, right? Like if I were to make this a correct sphere, it probably would have been a bit more. And again, it's the subtlety of just like, oh, well, it should have been something more like that, right? Still relatively incorrect, but already so much better than the harsh kind of straight curve, like more straight curve that I did initially, right? And again, take a step back. I'm trying to visualize the box, right? Same thing here of just, okay, let's connect that. And then here again, just what, and there's a reason I do the top layer first, because that is going to force me to think about it as something that's actually wrapping around this, rather than just something that's rather than like already wrapping around the form. Like again, I want an extremely intimate understanding of 3D space and form, and the sphere is the hardest fucking thing to understand, in my opinion, in terms of like combining forms with it, wrapping forms around it, because it is spherical, and anything spherical is innately difficult because anything spherical has the logic of being inside a square plane, right? Or a box, right? Like either you got a fucking sphere inside this, or you got a perfect, or an ellipse inside there, a perfect sphere inside the box. And yes, at this level, at this scale, I can see it. But at this scale, like that is a completely different ball game. So it is more difficult, at least from my experience. And like if you're average like me, it probably will be from your experience as well, right? Like it is 100% more difficult to visualize things when they are larger, right? Like it is 100% more difficult to visualize things when they're larger, you know? That's why it's hard for me to see my own. Fuck, I fucked up. I fucking stuttered. I was gonna say that's why it's hard for me to see my own dick sometimes. Funny. Okay, see, like trying to visualize. And then we bring it in. Bring it around town. See, now that's not bad. That's not bad at all. And then we follow the ellipse again. Again, this is great for line work because you can see my lines suffer drastically when it comes to consistency, right? But already this is better than what this was, right? Because it's actually a bit more consistent, right? And it's all the subtle nuances. We're probably going to see, and again, by the way, I couldn't see the diagonals at all. So like I need to constantly be bringing it back to calculate. And now I'm trying to bring it back to calculate, right? But in general, we need to constantly be bringing the calculations back to the forefront of our mind, right? And there you go. You can see I struggle with the curve, but that's not bad. That's not a perfect circle, I'm pretty sure, because this right side is actually a bit fucked. It is a bit squished. It is definitely a bit squished, right? Because this is the circle that I drew. It's kind of like this, right? It's a bit more squished, right? That's basically the circle, and then this is actually what a perfect circle is, right? It's a bit more narrow. Again, there's like that difference in a couple millimeters. And again, maybe like this isn't exactly a perfect circle or whatever, but the point I'm trying to make is like I'm constantly aware of like the improvements that need to be made. Right, let's draw some more googly eyes, because that's always fun. Whee! Right. But oh wait, let's do something like this so it's proportionally accurate. Right? Wasn't proportionally accurate at all. I fucked up. I fucked up. I did not make it relative to the thing. But this is already a lot better than what I used to do, but we can see that again, like this other side, I really struggle with making it more subtle, right? Like this subtlety, and of course, it's not the correct perspective. This curve is actually incorrect. It should be curving a lot more like this, right? Or that's maybe a bit too much, so it's probably somewhere in the middle like that, right? That's already better. But now if I were to draw what I'm actually visualizing underneath all of this, and that's another thing. The reason I really like this exercise, and this is what I'm pivoting to, is because not only is this a stress test of what we know, or what I know, and like just all the 3D simulation I'm trying to build in my mind, also I need to constantly be aware of the fact that because this is literally a tiny, essentially it's like a thick, relatively thicker box, right, that is being wrapped around the, I have to be able to think on the other side too, because we'll have to assume that the exact same thing's happening on the other side, right? So I have to be able to understand that, and I have to be able to still basically say to myself and see properly that, hey, it's all like compressed against the box. Like the box is actually completely just compressed against this, right? And that's something I need to be aware of, right? Like, it's not, like this is not part of that visualization, and that's actually really difficult to see, to be honest. Right, like this is not part of the visualization, and again, like I still struggle with understanding where the side plane should be. And actually, you'll see that yeah, my sphere is a bit compressed, right? My sphere is a bit squishy. You'll see that now, right? Because like it should be at the bottom. It should be like it should be facing here. The more at the bottom, the more at the bottom, the more at the bottom. But whatever, bro. The point is, I'm trying to see all this shit. Yeah, see? So like it should have been a bit larger. You know, and again, it's not as if my understanding is perfect either, but okay, so I got the center line relatively wrong too. So again, like I didn't really understand this as well, right? And then the bottom, trying to see that as well, right? I keep getting these diagonals wrong. Jesus Christ, and this is actually converging way too fast. But yeah, I hope the point is clear. Constantly trying to see that shit, right? And the same with the center plane. Trying to see, because this sphere right here is what we're trying to get. So you can see I got it wrong, actually. I completely got everything wrong. I got this, same with this, right? I got, because there's supposed to be an ellipse in there, so I got this ellipse relatively inaccurate, right? This one, and then I got this one completely inaccurate, because again, it's too straight. You see it's too straight, but it's supposed to be way more curved this way, right? So I'm gonna, actually, do I even need to rest my brain? I just rested my brain. No, I'm gonna rest my brain after I do this next, like, I guess repetition. Or not the full repetition, but at least try to visualize the fuck out of the repetition, right? Try to understand it better, right? Again, we need to, I'm gonna put this down here now, right? And while I put it down here, I need to see everything that is encompassing it. And this is where, again, the calculations are constantly occurring, right? I need to see the box, I need to see the center line, the diagonal, what the fuck? Diagonal center line especially. And yeah, like I made the ellipse smaller, but it's not really about that. And while I draw this, I'm so zoomed in that I was having a lot of trouble calculating and zooming out. But immediately, I take a step back and I try to reconstruct it again, right? And that literally is just the process constantly. And again, I have to see a grid here, right? I need to see this grid, this plane exactly, to understand that, hey, like, where is this being made? Like, how am I actually, like, accurately trying to draw this cutout ellipse, essentially, right? Like, what are we doing to accurately see this cutout ellipse, right? And it's still lots of issues, actually, right? You can see I still got that wrong, but it's all about trying to understand it is the main thing. And then I got the center line, I got the sphere. Let's get the sphere back. Woof, this is actually like extremely grindy on the brain, which is good. Like, it's a lot of effort, right? So I'm constantly trying to wrap this around because I need to be able to see this fuckery. Like, I need to be able to see that to the best of my ability, and then wrap it around, right? So let's see. It's on the other side too. So I need to be able to see this wireframe wrapping it around, right? I need to be able to see it wrapping around. Let's see. Again, pretty wrong, I'd like to believe, but there might be a way that I can savor this, right? And that just comes down to how I see the box again, because I can't see the box anymore. I've completely lost it. And now this line's actually fucking with me, just like I did last time. Like, it's an obstruction, right? So I need to be like, okay, well, where's the center plane? Where's the calculations? Where's the box? Where's the sphere? Where's the sphere, right? And now I kind of see a bit more. Because again, it is being wrapped around. I have to understand the fact that it's wrapping around three-dimensionally. Do I actually understand it? No, this is actually very, 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 very fucking difficult. Like, I'm genuinely struggling quite a bit to see right now. And that was also a mistake, right? Because it's too wide. It's way too, not wide, sorry, it's just too long there. It's just incorrect. And this needs to wrap around as well. Holy shit. Okay, see, like, this is the thing I'm trying to do, is like I'm trying to understand the wraparound. Like, I think if I can just keep practicing that, especially, like, it should make things a lot easier in terms of the sphere, right? So keep trying to see the wraparound and where it wraps around, right? And then this is the plane. Like, when I see this, I'm trying to see the box and where it's related, and then where the plane comes about, right? Because this is roughly where it should be. Again, this is the box, I'm trying to see the sphere, right? Oh, somebody save me. Smallville, never finished it. Honestly, thought it was pretty mid, but that opening do be, the opening do be stuck in your head, it do be. I don't know what the fuck. Anyways, let me rest my brain. This is good. I think this is a good approach to constantly, like, see it, but I'm like, okay, I just need to push in. I'm just gonna push in for a little bit more, actually, because I can feel it. I can literally feel my brain grinding, right? So, and a huge part of this is me being able to see the center line, this diagonal, calculate the diagonal diagonally, right? Again, so there you go. That's not good, by the way. This is not good, but I just needed to get this idea out there. So I myself would be like, okay, at least I try to understand exactly what was happening. Because again, I need to be able to see through the entire form. This is a great way of me being like, hey, it's wrapping around. It's wrapping around, right? This is an actual sphere. This is the box inside of it, and it's wrapping around, right? So, and this is what makes it look like an ellipse, right? Not good, by the way, not good. And it feels amazing because it's not good. I want to be very clear. Like, this is a good thing. Like, I'm so happy. And again, like, I have to be aware of the fact that this is a sphere. This is actually not a sphere anymore. Like, as you can see, it's a pretty fucky sphere, right? Because this curve is way too much. And maybe this curve is also way too much over here, right? Maybe it's not subtle enough, right? I don't have the current insight to be aware of that because my working memory capacity, again, my cognitive endurance is taxed. My glycogen reserves are completely used up. I cannot see anything. I can only see snippets, but I'm constantly pushing right now. Pushing. I don't know why my the fucking the jism in my throat came out, but I am constantly pushing my mind because right now when I'm trying to draw this line, I'm thinking about this plane, right? I'm thinking about this center plane, right? But then I'm also trying to, when I think about that, recontextualize it on the entire box. And when I think about the box, I'm trying to think about the entire fucking diagonal calculations. Like, you see, like, I'm constantly just calculating, and I'm trying to make every calculation be not in isolation, but in relation to other calculations. It's hard because I'm talking while I'm doing this, and while I'm making the line, all that goes to shit, right? But it's the attempt to make sure and to try your hardest for it to not go to shit, right? Man, these lines definitely went to shit, that's for sure. So, let's see, now it's about, let's see, the sphere. Now it's about getting the sphere down, right? It's all about getting the sphere. And this could very well be inaccurate. Oh, because actually, hold up, I didn't even... Whew, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Okay, I need to rest my brain because actually I'm having trouble even understanding what the fuck I did. Because now I'm starting to see this in like a different dimension. Like, I'm starting to see this top plane as like the bottom plane or the side plane. Like, I'm not making sense of it because my brain is very taxed. The taxed voice crack. But please rest your brain. I encourage. The fuck? I encourage myself. Sure, I'm gonna rest my brain as well. Yeah, I don't know why the fuck I ever thought this was boring. This is sick. Personally, I didn't think it was boring, but there's that little YouTuber part of me that's like, oh no, people are gonna think this isn't entertaining, and I had to take a step back, and be like, nobody thinks your shit's entertaining anyways. Like, these, I just have to consistently keep reminding myself and internalizing that these videos are the foundational formative videos in which fucking 100 parts, 200 parts, doesn't matter from now when I'm drawing portraits which are extremely, I guess, technically proficient and well done and imaginative, and they're being stretched and pushed and just applying everything artwod teaches, which is really good imaginative portraiture skills and technique and all that stuff, right? Like, when it gets to that point, because it will, it's a when, not an if. It's simply a time and effort quotient, which is what I always tell every single one of you, right? But when it does, the dipshits, they're not really dipshits, of course. Like, nobody's gonna find this interesting, right? This is, everybody here is actually like a hardcore serious learner, right? This is why you guys see the value in what I'm doing, right? And you're applying it to the extent that you can to yourself as well, whatever part of the skill that you're learning is, right? But you can see there's already huge progress in general. But anyways, what I was saying is, I just need to internalize that people will come back to these videos to understand what the fuck was done. But that doesn't mean I should, there's no need, and this is just me thinking out loud, there's no need for me to feel as if these videos are boring. Just because for some reason, I'm concerned about the watchability of it. Nobody's watching me. That's why I say draw along. That's why I'm gaslighting every single one of you to body double with me, right? I still struggle with the sphere, by the way. Oh, god damn it. Oh no! This is classic Viggy. Oh, god damn it, I dropped it again! No, god damn it! Fuck! This is classic Viggy lore. The amount of fucking times this guy has dropped the pen cap, right? I'll make a t-shirt out of that one day. He dropped the pen cap, he did the thing, right? But, anyways. And see, like, another thing I want to be very clear on is, like, I haven't been able to understand the, until just now, I wasn't really thinking about this angle properly in terms of, like, how the ellipse would fit inside of it. Just now, I was like, oh, okay, I literally just forgot to think about the edge because there's so many calculations happening, right? And when there's that many calculations happening, it's obviously it's very appropriate, to be honest, that one would just forget or not have the mental capacity, because it's really what this is mental capacity to see the things that need to be seen. Also, I fucked up this little thing right here, the perspective for this, right? Everything's a fuck up. Everything's a fuck up. Anyways, like same with this, right? This is actually, and again, this is great because not only do I struggle with this angle, now I can fix this a little better. It's still really bad, and you can see like I haven't wrapped it around properly at all, right? Same thing here. Like I need to think about, okay, how does this look? And again, I need to zoom out. There's so many issues. I love this. This is actually great. I know I could be like, oh, I should have done this from the beginning, but it doesn't matter because I still got a lot of really good hard surface shape practice out of it, right? And again, these curves are really incorrect. But yeah, it's okay. Like it doesn't matter because I got a lot of good hard surface shape practice out of it, but now we need to go back again to the foundation, right? And we're seeing that my foundations are actually very fucking mediocre, right? Like, Jesus Christ, like look at that curve. Like that is not a good curve, right? Like my foundations are just subpar in all aspects. So look at this. I thought it was getting better. That's fucking hilarious. I was just like, oh, it's getting a lot better. Look at that. And again, like it's because this is the wireframe, right? This is the wireframe. So this is what I see and this is what I understand, right? Which is nothing. Clearly, look at that. Right? And it's been 46 minutes. So we're gonna go again. One more repetition, of course, right? Maybe we'll go for an extra. Maybe we'll go for 2 repetitions today, just because like it's been 46 minutes, and I might as well make this an hour and 20-minute episode, right? Little entertainment for you fuckers. But yeah. Okay. Anyways, so this is good. This is very, very, very good. Like in terms of just like this is my foundational ability, which is garbage, right? So I now have the. Oh, let me put the. I mean, is there even a point in drawing this? Because clearly I lost the plot, right? Like this, I thought I had it, but then I lost it. It's just like what was the sphere here? Literally, like it was something like this, maybe, right? Like that, maybe, right? But then this was my box. Right, that's my box, I guess. Who knows? I don't know. No idea. No idea from my end. Right? Maybe that's the box. But again, clearly, like in this angle, I still struggle quite a bit with understanding how the box is placed. This is good. Again, these are all fucking amazing mistakes that I keep making, right? And and yes, of course, I keep making them, but I'm trying to not make them is the point. I'm trying to make, right? Is the fact that I keep making mistakes, but I'm trying to genuinely be as aware as possible as to how I can avoid making these mistakes, if that makes sense, right? And again, this is my box. My sphere's curved around, right? It's curved around. So I need to be aware of that. And then this is my center, right? Let's make this center right around here. And it's obviously in that perspective, so. And again, while I draw this, I zoom in quite a bit. So I need to take a step back. And again, like this is the skills. Like I need to be able to see the entire wireframe and ensure that I'm drawing and like everything that I'm drawing on top of that wireframe, like I'm still holding the wireframe while I'm drawing things on top of it, right? Like that's what this is basically. I'm drawing a wireframe while holding an internal fucking engine, right, of the wireframe and trying to ensure that it's consistent and having my actual like wireframe that's on top of it be reflective of or be aligned with the wireframe I'm trying to visualize, right? Like this 3D simulation that I'm trying to visualize. Very difficult. Very, very difficult. Genuinely extremely difficult, right? And it's why I'm constantly struggling. I mean, what a fucking shock that I'm constantly struggling, but it's why I'm constantly struggling. It's like because I'm trying to make it as robust as I possibly can while failing miserably to make it even mildly robust, right? Like that's the whole thing that's occurring right now. It's like I can't even make it half as good as I want to because I'm shite. I'm just doo-doo, man. I'm just doo-doo. But right now, like, I'm really trying to think about the plane, like the front plane. But again, I'm zoomed in, right? So I need to zoom out. I need to zoom out. This is gonna take forever. I love this. I actually love how difficult this is, right? And then now I'm trying to see the entire box and the sphere inside of it, right? Oof. Okay, so again, trying to see the center lines. Fuck, not the pen again. Just trying to see this. Okay, where should I put this? Put this over here? No, I don't want to be in the way. Put this over here. There you go. Okay. So I'm trying to see this center line like this. I'm trying to understand that ellipse that is wrapping around it. Because again, it is three-dimensional. Like this actually helps with me understanding that it's wrapping around, right? The three-dimensional form. But just because I'm trying to understand it doesn't mean I do understand it, right? And there you go. Maybe make it longer, right? Okay, I need to take a step back. All right, let's try that again. Once again, my brain is extremely fried right now, right? And it's why you have to detach everything from anything but just the effort you put in and the mistakes that you enjoy, right? Because if you genuinely care about the outcome, right, even a little bit, you're gonna have a bad time, right? It's all about the effort, and the effort does matter, and it's a working memory skill. Again, like you have to, when I'm contextualizing it as the fact that I'm trying to think about the box, trying to think about the sphere inside the box, trying to think about this center line, trying to think about this center line, trying to think about the diagonal, right? Trying to make sure everything is placed accordingly with this diagonal, right? And I'm really trying to visualize this. Like I'm fucking leaning the fuck in. Like I'm trying so hard to see everything right now, right? And then I'm gonna fail a lot, as you'll see, right? I'm gonna fail quite a bit right now, right? Because I just lost everything. I tried to hold those 23 or fucking 19 apparently calculations in my mind, and I lost it. But oh, I felt so good because I leaned in just for a second, and I'm gonna try to zoom out and see it again. Just try to zoom out, see it again, right? Let's give it a shot. Let's give it an honest shot, right? Trying to see this calculation, trying to make sure that I still understand the center plane, trying to see the entire sphere. Again, I'm feeling a pit of discomfort in my stomach, right? And extreme pressure in my head while I do this, by the way, like an extreme pressure. Well, not extreme, but a pretty like a pressure on my forehead, right? Not to be dramatic, right? But the point I'm trying to make is like it is extremely difficult. Like I'm feeling a lot of tension, right? There's a genuine pit of discomfort in my stomach, and I can tell my mind it's at its limit because I can't see anything. I'm right now I'm in output regression. I cannot see anything. I cannot calculate anything, but I must continue, right? I must continue. So let's see. Trying to zoom out, trying to get this wireframe going, right? Genuinely trying to get this wireframe going. Okay, let's try something like this. And that is incorrect. That is absolutely incorrect, right? Let's try again. Okay, that's probably still incorrect. But you see how I can't tell because I'm struggling so fucking much, right? I can't even tell what's correct, what's not correct, right? And let's see. Let's cover this up like so, and then we will maybe see, like that shouldn't have been like that, to be honest. That's a huge mistake, right? Oh my god, bro, this is so difficult. And now we have to get the corners going, right? And again, I need to zoom out and see the wireframe for the actual sphere itself, right? And ignore everything, literally ignore everything, draw over it if I have to, but see the wireframe, right? Something like right there. There you go. That's a little bit better, right? Because we have to ignore all, because again, these are obstructions. Like this angle is an obstruction, so it's just the perfect circle or sphere or whatever, right? And then I need to see the center line, and I need to see that shit to the fucking, and again, I need to see the goddamn plane here again and calculate and make sure it's proper, right? Let's see. There you go. And it's wrapping around. I cannot forget that it's wrapping around. And again, my lines will suffer throughout all of this, right? My lines will suffer throughout all of this. And I'm genuinely unable to see anything right now. So I take a step back and I'm going to rest my brain. And I encourage you to do so as well. Yeah, fucking hilarious joke, Vicky. I'm gonna do 2 repetitions. Fucking idiot. Retardus Maximus, they called him. Affectionately, of course. Unfortunately, he responded with the, so the affection was immediately lost. So was the joke, because it wasn't funny, it was just cringe. And so was the cringe, because it wasn't cringe, it was uncomfortable. And so was the discomfort, because it wasn't uncomfortable, it was just awkward. And so was the awkwardness, because it wasn't awkward, it was annoying. I can go forever, I'm gonna stop. But anyways, back to trying to see something that doesn't exist. Okay, right? Okay, so again, like this needs to be, I need to see this along the plane, and that actually makes it immediately a lot easier. The fact that I just tried to see it along the plane, right? Same with this. I need to see it along the plane. Right, and by the plane I mean this, literally the side plane that the box is encompassed in. Like I need to see it along that, the center plane, right? So now this is obviously where things can get very, and I mean genuinely very, quote unquote bad. Like this is, right here, like I got this. Now I need to be able to see the other part of the sphere. But this also has to be aligned in tune and correctly placed in order to make this sphere make sense, right? And I need to do it in a way where the center line is still accurate, right? So I'm pretty sure it's something like this. Right? Oh, see, that's already inaccurate because I didn't get this wrapped around properly, right? Oh, that's amazing. See, I already made a huge mistake because I rushed into that as well. And again, by the way, like because my working memory capacity is at its limit, right? My line quality is going to suffer because my mind is extensively preoccupied with spatial reasoning, and it's not even accurately occupied with spatial reasoning, but it's because it's just occupied with it. Everything else suffers, right? Like everything else is going to be at a loss, for lack of a better word, right? Like it's just not going to see properly because, and again, like I have to finish the sphere. Can we do it? Can we actually finish it while seeing it inside the box? I don't know about seeing it inside the box, but I did finish a sphere, not an accurate sphere, but a sphere. And there you go. So yeah, you see, like one step forward and then every other step back, right? But I did manage to relatively fix kind of this ellipse. This is inaccurate, but you see how much proportional accuracy, line consistency, placement consistency on top of just the visualization needs to occur, because I still don't understand this that well, right? Like the wraparound. And no, it's actually very clear I don't understand the wraparound as well, because here it looks like it's kind of squishing it. Here it looks like it is wrapping around. Even if we ignore that line, it's like, okay, yeah, it is wrapping around, right? But one thing is to do it through intuition, another thing is to actively do it, to do it intentionally with active calculations occurring, right? And that's why my brain is like, this is the feeling that I always have after a drawing session. Just to put into perspective, fuck, jizz in my throat. To put into perspective, no pun intended, right? But just to put into perspective, how much I'm constantly in cognitive discomfort, right? Like just to give you an idea. It's already the wrong perspective, but yeah, just to give you an idea of just how much effort, like how much discomfort I'm in, is I feel basically like a light pressure on my head, like right here in my, well, you can't see it, but in my temple, right? Every single session, I feel a light pressure in my temple after I've done this drawing session, right? That's it. That's my working memory capacity. It's been completely exhausted, right? My glycogen stores have been completely used up for the prefrontal cortex, the parietal lobe, right? The motor cortex. I don't know if that's a motor cortex, but whatever. Like everything involving all the calculations of spatial reasoning, right? The narrating on top of the spatial reasoning, which is an extremely cognitively demanding skill. I want to be very clear, right? Try drawing anything that's spatially demanding, whatever your version of that is. A box, a sphere, the horizon line, a combination of those, a cylinder, plane inside the ellipse, whatever. Just to give you an idea, right now or tomorrow, next session, but yeah, maybe even right now, just be like, okay, let me just try drawing something difficult, spatially difficult, and now let me talk about what I'm drawing while I'm doing it. Immediately, you'll lose your visualization like that, all right? Because your brain is now focused on the active speaking part, right? Whatever fucking, oh god, not the pen cap. There's the other one now. Oh, the new meta, the gray pen cap is now involved, right? But yeah, like the point I'm trying to make again isn't that, because I'm sure, I mean, it's easy to think that, oh, he's just showing off about, or maybe I'm just fucking completely making shit up in my head, right? See, like I didn't even get the center line right. Okay, so if I were to do this based on the center line that I established, what would the box actually be? It'd be something like this. Like that? Ah, yes, okay, it'd be something like that. Okay, so it'd be further out, is what I'm seeing. Yeah, okay. The bottom plane. So that's another thing. So it's not that my center line is wrong. I just don't understand the side plane's placement well enough, right? That's the main thing, is I don't understand the side plane's placement well enough, even though like this is actually, I completely got the angle wrong, but it's more shifted to the left than I think, and the bottom plane is larger than I think. Clearly it is larger than I think, but okay, so that's another thing I've realized now. My mind keeps making the bottom plane much smaller rather than larger, right? In this angle, like it's not accurately visualizing it. So again, these are all things that I'll constantly notice, right? I'm probably gonna do this angle for another fucking how many hours, like 4 or 5 hours, whatever, 4 or 5 videos, right? And then I will move on to a new angle. But I wanted, like, this is fun. Like I love this. This is, I don't know why I didn't do it before. I guess I definitely was hiding behind what I thought was a good understanding. But again, like that's because these were more internalized. So I guess if anything, it's just a really good idea to have this be the norm going forward, because this will absolutely fucking test whether this internal 3D engine simulation spatial reasoning that I made is accurate, verifiable, consistently consistent across multiple angles and wraparounds, like wireframe arounds, or if it's held shoddily together. And that's the thing, right? It's like, and I guess I just wanted to quickly mention this today, because anybody who's still here, but I know people have asked, and like, and again, like a couple fans have been like, oh, it's so intense, your spatial, dude, what you do sounds so hard, or like this is such intense spatial reasoning. And the thing is, you have to understand that it's derived from my own curiosity of how far I can push my capabilities, right? So this is my version of seeing how far I can push my capabilities. So you have your version of how far you can push your capabilities. It may be this, it may be more than this, it may be not less than, but in a different direction than, but still equally as intense as this. But the intensity is, in my opinion, and from my encouragement, required if you have the curiosity to see how far you can go and how far you can push your draftsmanship. And if you're like, I don't have that curiosity, I don't really know what I want to do, then that curiosity will only be unveiled through the work, through actively putting in effort and pushing yourself. For example, right, you're like, I just started drawing the horizon line and some planes that are converging towards it, right? Like this is pretty hard. And you're like, yeah, I want to put work in, but I don't really know, like I'm not curious about how far I can take this. I just want to be good. Well, that vagueness of good will only be clarified when you consistently put in the effort to get really good at the thing you're trying to do, right? And keep pushing it, and then keep improving upon it, keep adding more complexities to it. Because once you get to the point where you're capable of doing these complex things, you'll have a much clearer answer of the type of artist you want to be. But it's only answered through hard work and through sheer effort and through enjoying the effort and having a good mindset, right? Like you don't have, like if you're a beginner, or if you haven't put that much work in towards getting good at anything, right? Like I'm still fucking mediocre as shit. I haven't put that much work in, but just because I've put in 1,000 hours now, I know that like, oh, like I have a much clearer idea, right? The ideas, the clarity, the understanding, the curiosity, the type of artist you want to be, the type of artist that you are, will only ever be unveiled. And this is for any skill. The type of blank skilled individual that you are will only ever be unveiled by the work that you put towards achieving like facets of that skill and beyond, right? And really pushing yourself, you know? Like it's not the other way around. You're not gonna know what kind of artist you want to be. You'll have a general idea. I still, like, I went to this being like, I want to be a really good fucking have amazing fundamentals, strong foundations, and I want to create a comic, right? That's what I came into, like after like a few months of drawing. That's what I came into it, right? But right, what the fuck? But I did not know I would be doing some fucking box, sphere inside the box, center lines inside the sphere. But I only went to this point because I was like, oh shit. If I can see a box and I can see a cylinder inside a box, then when it comes to the portraiture, having a sphere inside the box, because that's what artwod does, right? They have you draw the portrait as a sphere, like encompass it in a sphere, and then encompass it in a box. I simply was like, why don't I just fucking blend them? Because that sounds even more difficult, and that sounds even more constant, and I can utilize either the box or the sphere anytime I want, and I'll have a consistent schema of calculations that are constant throughout this box and sphere and the diagonals, and that is just gonna just improve my spatial reasoning. So that would not have been unveiled to me if I didn't do all the work up until that point of constantly trying to improve my spatial reasoning. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say is you're only going to know the direction you want to go into by putting in a shit ton of work in a direction, and then the direction beyond that will become clearer, right? So that's literally it. Like the work unveils the type of person that you'll be who does that work, which then will answer the question, what kind of artist do you want to be, right? This might be a bit confusing. I mean, I don't even think I'm saying it properly, but yeah, like I'm not saying draw like me. I'm saying be like me. Be better, god damn it. Enjoy the effort. This is but with that being said, I hope you put a lot of effort in and a lot of work in. And with that being I keep saying with that being said, I fucking bastardize that a lot, don't I? But with that being said, as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing. Please give me money.